let's talk first about Bangles. How did the name Bangles
emerge?
Emerged. It's the name of an Electric Prune song.
It's got many meanings,
It
actually.
has a myriad of meanings.
Yes, we used to be called the Bangs, but there was another group with that name, so we had a large following who already knew us as the Bangs, so when it came time to change it, we thought if we just add 3 letters, keep the root, it won't confuse people so much, so that's sort of what happened.
And it also means like hang loose, you know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a
one of
cool term.
One of the descriptions in the dictionary, you know.
To hang loose,
To hang loose.
as in a bangle bracelet.
But I'm interested, before you came up with Bangles, there had to be some other fun things that you came up with, like adding to the, you know.
Oh, shebangs. What else? We had a million of them.
I don't know, but they were all so good, we obviously used them, right?
How did you guys find each other? Tell me about that.
Cosmically.
Yes, it was a cosmic experience.
Actually, Vicki and I couldn't help it. We were sort of born into the same family.
She just showed up one day at the
Showed up
house.
one day at the house.
I couldn't figure it out. And then after that, Debbie and I met Susanna through an ad in the paper, you know, where you sort of can meet a date, a house cleaner, buy a car,
Buy a
that kind of
gun,
thing.
anything.
Yeah,
By a dog.
Yeah.
find a guitar player.
Yeah.
That's what we did. And we realized we had a lot of common interests in music and the same types of music and the same era of music, like the 60s and that kind of thing, which was unusual for someone of our age group, so it was something to start with.
So was that under personals or lost and found?
They actually have a music
Musicians
section.
wanted.
Musicians seeking musicians, and then bands seeking music. It's interesting.
I've never heard of a successful band, which you certainly are, getting together through a newspaper ad.
Actually, it's happened a lot of.
happened.
Elton John and Bernie Taupin met through an ad. Simon and Garfunkel met through an ad.
Actually, the
Some
Monkees was an ad too.
The members
wasn't
of
it?
X.
Yeah,
was
yeah, John
you know,
Donexine met through an ad.
No, not John Donexine, but it's happened.
So you guys put the ad in, is that right?
No, it's really complicated.
Really, you
Nobody-
really don't want to know.
No, you
just
don't want to know, but
wanna know.
nobody here put the actual ad in.
That's how cosmic it was.
That's how cosmic.
You mean it just appeared?
It just
It
appeared
appeared.
one day.
That's great, because I love it.
I know, this is great.
Okay, stupid question number 4.
Okay.
I'm from another planet. Never heard your
You are?
music before.
This is
I thought
good.
I recognized you.
It was 2,000 years ago today.
I think so.
I told you I'd call. I told you I'd get it.
Took you a while.
How describe your music to me?
Difficult one.
Ooh, tough question.
Tribal, I know.
It's lots of voices, lots of harmonies, a lot of it's
guitars.
The voices are pretty folk, and the guitars are pretty rock. Of course, if you're from another planet, I don't know if you'd understand rock. So this is a
we'll
really
have to
difficult
describe us,
question.
define these terms for you. Yeah, it's 4 voices singing in harmony over a lot of noise most of the time.
And a conglomerate of different sounds and styles and stuff too.
I'm sorry?
Oh, please.
It's 4 people who don't know how to play country, so they sort of play it
Slightly.
not really
Like
country. Don't know how to play funk, so they sort of play it not really like funk.
Yeah.
You know, on and on and on.
It's like a melting pot of sounds.
It's just like America. It's really beautiful.
Oh, wow.
And it's, you know, a lot of names get thrown around when people describe you to other people.
Some
like-
of them unprintable.
No, I mean good names. Like
Oh,
band
good names.
Oh, the good names.
Influences.
The Beatles.
The who?
Not the Who. The
The
Beatles for
oldest one.
sure.
Yes,
The Mamas
they are
and
gone.
Papas. Are you guys old enough to remember all these people?
Not really.
We had older brothers and sisters that had records. We had parents that had records and babysitters that would, you know, play stuff for
And
us.
parents, actually.
Yeah.
My parents were into rock and roll.
You know,
So.
we had music constantly surrounding us day and night. You know, we always, as
It gets
kids.
into your pores. You know, you just
See,
start-
we might have remembered the sound of a song like Downtown by Pet Clark, but not known who it was singing it, what the name of it was. But then years later, went back and rediscovered all those records and would have to go to old thrift record stores and be digging through used record files and collecting them all over again. So that's sort of what happened, basically.
So you're serious when you say you're a melting pot. You're
Yeah.
a lot of different sounds. Because when I heard your first album, a lot of memories came back for me. Yet there's an edge to it. There's a difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not revival rock, you know, we're not trying to be 1966, you know, this is 1986, I think, and we're just playing what comes natural to us right now.
I mean, we're really as much a product of punk rock and the 70s. I mean, that's when we were old enough to really
Yeah, there's a lot of Casey and the Sunshine
buy
Band.
records. I mean, those were record buying years.
Yeah, DeFranco family, that's
Yeah,
another big one.
they're
yeah.
hot. Silvers.
Yeah.
Hot, hot.
Rolling Stone magazine, Laura Kissinger said,
Yeah.
great review, by the way.
Yeah.
But she's made a really interesting statement that I rather like. Let's see if I can get a comment out of you. She said that with your new album, that you're making a modern statement. That you dare to imply that men are only a part of their solar system, your solar system, not the center of it.
It's interesting.
Did you read that?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, that means there's other things in life than men.
I think we're not writing the standard boy meets girl, boy loses girl song. Although we do write about relationships quite often,
And we do write about love and
and people, you know, we tend to write about that more than fishes and trees.
Green bushes.
And bushes. But I think it's not quite so straight on. We usually try and find some sort of an angle to the story if you're telling a story in a song or something.
where there's somehow in the song we're already stepping back from something that's happened and observing it.
Yeah.
Instead of, hanging on the telephone or hanging by the telephone for the call to come in from this
I don't know.
person.
I find this record to be actually more romantically inclined than the first album. I think maybe she's just reacting to 4 women who seem to have their career under control, and we're focusing on what we want to do, we're doing what we want to do, and there's not some man behind the curtain saying, now you're going to wear silver lame jumpsuits, and you're going to do your hair in this huge, you know what I mean? I think maybe she's reacting to that more than the actual music.
You seem like you are very much, we've been all in this television business, and a lot of groups, go by, and we talk to a lot of people. Personally, I've yet to meet people who are around a group who are as together, as organized, and very pleasant to work with. Is that the feeling that really, is that a show being put on, or is that?
They're on their best behavior.
Some of our crew are cheering behind if you're
They're
wondering.
doing things like
That's-
this.
4 t-shirts.
From the very beginning, that's the way we've always wanted to operate. In fact, in the early Bangle days, we basically did everything ourselves.
Yeah.
And we started our own record label. That's really how we got started. Vicki and Debbi and I started our own record label. So we thought we don't want to be knocking on, record label doors and,
Waiting for someone else to make us
passing out.
stars.
Right. So we thought we're just going to put a record out and hopefully somebody's going to play it, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden people were showing up at the clubs to see us, whereas a few months before we were like begging the club owner to let us play there.
It turned around awful quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it
unusual.
does.
it is.
Yeah, we're lucky. It happened. And we worked hard.
Yeah, work hard is the key to it, isn't it?
Yeah, you just gotta stick to it, because a lot of bands out there, they just go for a while and think, oh, well, nothing's happening right now, this instant, so forget it, I'm gonna stop.
It's never been a fluke. I mean, we've all, from a very early ages, wanted to have careers, had mothers who were artists or career women, and maybe that's another product of being children of the 70s in a way, or teenagers in the 70s, is women's lib. I don't know, maybe it affected us in that way. We wanted to,
Yeah, it probably made it a little easier.
oh, airplane.
Yeah.
Just wait a second here. I wanted to ask you about that because your music seems I don't want to say ahead of its time because that's a cliche, but maybe that's what people like because they hear what in a group that I listen to that I like. There's something about that group that's reminiscent of other groups,
Yeah.
you know. Yet with you, I don't think 60s, I don't think 70s, I think 80s. But your melodies
good.
are melodies, I mean, and some of your harmonies are very nostalgic to me.
Yeah.
Now, is that because I'm over 40 or I'm reading something in your music that isn't
No, I
there?
think there haven't been a lot of groups recently that do choral singing, which is really what we do. You know, it's four voices blended together during, you know, the good part of a song, not just one voice and a couple of oohs and ahs. I mean, we do take turns singing leads on the songs and use other voices as sort of intertwining backgrounds and that kind of thing. But it's really based on sort of chorale, you know, school choir singing, which we did, you know, and you know, and Girl Scout guitar playing, you know, that kind of thing. That's
Definitely.
where we learned it.
Even Broadway
campfire
musicals.
stuff.
You should have heard us in the
Musicals.
dressing room yesterday. We would have been really embarrassed. We were singing.
No, we would have been.
We would have been embarrassed.
We were singing Sound of Music
In
tunes.
4-part harmony, yodeling. It was really strange.
This is our background, folks.
Yeah.
When, individually, I'd like to go around the group on this one, start with you. When did you say, that's for me, rock and roll, I'm going to be a drummer, I'm getting up there, I'm going for it?
I think it was when I was like probably about 5 or 6. I didn't actually want to be a drummer. I wanted to be a performer in any way, shape, or form. I wanted to get up there on the stage and just entertain people. And I'd sit there and listen to songs on the radio, get out the hair dryers, the blow dryers, the combs, the brushes, and sing into them, and, you know, lip sync when I was
What about
5 or
the
6 years
Twinkie?
old. And the Twinkies, of course.
The Tom Jones.
Yes, I was
Singing
doing my
the
Tom
Twinkies.
Jones imitation when I was about 6.
Twinkies are good to sing into.
Yeah, very good. They're good to pull apart, too. Yeah.
That early?
Young age, definitely.
To the left? Okay, and you, when did,
I was in high school and I had a boyfriend who played guitar, and I had always loved music. It had always been a very powerful part of my life, but I never really made the connection that maybe I could do it. I was going to be an art major. That was the way I was headed, and there was a bass at the house one day, and I picked it up and I started playing. I went, "Oh, this is kind of fun," little knowing, you know, how easy it is to play that instrument badly and how hard it is to play it as well. But I don't know, I fiddled around with it for a couple of years, and then when I turned 20, I decided to get serious about it and practiced every day, and moved to Los Angeles and played in a lot of bands and learned how to do it, basically.
a lot of club work?
Yeah, a lot of nasty clubs and nasty club owners and nasty agents and nasty bands. This is the nicest bunch of people I've ever worked with. Got terrible, terrible stories I could tell. But,
What's your story? Is it happier than that one? Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably the first time I saw Hard Day's Night, when I was really little, and I just, from then on, it was daydream time. It wasn't just, you know, I want to marry Paul McCartney. Do I have to wait for this guy?
So those
The U.S. Army.
We'll put an
yeah, wouldn't it be
hour
great
on
if it was like Hard Day's Night?
I know.
It is a lot of times.
Some of it is, but a lot of it ain't.
I just, yeah.
Go ahead.
I just, I wanted to be that, you know, I really identified with something going on there. It was really, it was a fantasy, obviously. That wasn't out real life. It was a movie, you know, it wasn't even a portrayal of a real band. But that was probably where it started, and I got my first Rickenbacker electric guitar when I was 7, and, you know, from then on I started writing songs, and I think it was fate, unfortunately, for my parents.
I think like Debbie, at a very early age, I knew that I wanted to sing and act and perform and dance, and I sort of came to rock and roll through a long route of doing all of those things. And although like Vicki, when the Beatles were big, I was like a little teeny baby, and me and my brothers would sort of mime to them and pretend to be them. I think it was when John Lennon was killed, though, that I sort of, I don't know what it did, maybe it threw me back to those early infantile memories, but that's when I really decided, that's about right around the time this band got together. It was right about a month after that. And that's when we really thought, let's do it, let's really do it. For some reason, this strange as that
It was
sounds.
motivating.
It was very motivating.
Oh, that's very interesting.
No,
Well,
there's
there's actually
What's the third one?
four.
Here it is.
Oh,
That was actually the
Oh, I've
first
got Hero,
single.
I've got Hero, that was the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Liverpool's a-
mannequins,
right.
Yeah, Liverpool's in the video, I think.
isn't that right?
Yeah.
The windows,
Yeah.
Key City, yeah.
Right. Exactly.
That was done in L.A.
No, San Francisco.
It was in San Francisco?
Liverpool
Believe it or
was
not.
in LA.
It had none of that San Francisco ambience, did it?
No?
Well, let's talk about your first hit, first song, which was called,
It was Hero Takes a Fall. You want to talk about Liverpool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Going down to Liverpool.
yeah, how'd that come about? Who wrote that, where?
A fellow named Kimberly Rue wrote that. He was an Englishman. Yes?
You say that again, you...
Oh, I hit, sorry, I did a Cyndi Lauper.
Going down to Liverpool.
Yeah, a fellow named Kimberly Rue wrote that. He's an Englishman, and he was in a band called the Soft Boys, and he's in a band now called Katrina and the Waves, and they just had a hit, I think it was last year.
Yeah,
Walking
they're
on
making a new
Sunshine.
record now.
Yeah,
good
and it's
Red wine and
interesting.
whiskey.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Do you write any of your own songs?
Oh, yeah. About 85%.
Yes, we do.
We just occasionally come across a song that strikes us as being very different from something we would write, or just very special in some way. And Going Down to Liverpool was one of those songs because of the beat, and it was very infectious and
Sounded
had a
great.
good
Had a good feel.
vibe to it.
Yeah,
you
had
know,
a
it
good
really
feel
did.
to it. Yeah, it was neat.
And Manic Monday was another song like that.
How does one get a song from Prince these days? To really get an autograph?
That was cosmic, another cosmic experience.
Yeah, we didn't ask. It just, he invited us to do it if we wanted to. Basically called up and said, you want to come by and hear these songs? And we said, of course, great. Being big admirers of his music, so it worked out great.
So on the way out the door, you said,
No, took it home, listened to the tape, and then everyone loved it.
Yeah, we figured out how to play it ourselves. He actually had given us the choice of using the existing tape, the tracks on his tape, or doing our own. And whenever we do a single, whenever we do a cover, we want to Banglify it. We want to make it our own. So.
And what's great is he really likes what we did with it too, which is so amazingly great, because it's just so nice to know when you cover a song that the artist who wrote it likes what you did
Yeah,
with it.
that really
It's
makes you feel
makes you feel
good.
great. Yeah.
would you like to write music for other groups?
Sure.
We already have. We have done. Some of our songs have been done by other people.
Like who?
Well, Belinda Carlisle's doing a song. So,
Last question. You people make a lot of people feel really good. What I think music is basically all about.
I agree.
What do you do to make yourselves feel good? What do you do to have fun?
Listen to other
listen to
people's
other
music.
people's
I was going to say that,
That's
yeah.
one of the main
I mean, you
things.
see us all in the bus or cars or whatever, we've got our little Walkmans on. and we're just
Headphone City.
grooving along, you know.
Some of us are heavy movie buffs and
Yeah,
get
movies are great.
off on watching sometimes the same movie up to 15, 16 times and still laugh
kidding.
in the same
Yes.
spot.
Yes,
you
until
know.
you can recite full passages
Yeah.
of the movie,
Yeah.
on the
We
bus.
do have a few down, a few filed away.
Yeah, we have a VCR on the bus, so the current favorite is Scarface.
Yeah, it's I must say, the acting in that movie is
Al Pacino.
It's great.
If you could only take one album with you,
Uh-oh.
Oh, don't ask
no
us
albums,
that.
no Bangles, pick Clark was this one.
It's a hard one.
God.
Just take nothing, or what would you take?
Oh, no.
I might take...
Beatles 65, maybe.
I think I'd have to cheat and just take the Beatles box set.
There you go.
That's not fair.
Yeah, well, what can
More
you?
than one record. I'd rather take a tape of a compilation of a bunch of songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that?
That doesn't work, though. We're talking...
I know, I guess it's such a hard question.
It's impossible because we love too many different bands. We love all kinds of music.
So relax, music is music. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's your lives.
Yeah.
It's true.
We like to shop.
Yeah, we like to shop. Some of us read books.
we love
Some of us exercise.
We have a Bangles
Some of us
lending
sleep.
library.
Sleep has
Sleep
become
is
a
fun.
big premium on this tour.
Although when we get to a town and there's a good band playing, we'll sacrifice sleep
Yeah.
any day.
Unfortunately, that's why we look like this.
That's why we're like,
Yes, we went out and some
Partied
of us
heavy.
went out and saw the Flesh Toes last night until the wee small hours of the morning.
wee.
Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for the interview. Thanks for coming
Thank
to
you.
Philadelphia. And you guys, you're going to have a good time.
Thank you very much.
Now, there's one thing I didn't ask you, and I know you're thinking about it, but I will bring it up in the story, and that is that there are things you're each doing individually as well as collectively. Somebody's working on a movie, I hear.
We're always doing things.
Yeah, well, I think that's important to bring out, and I'll bring that out in the story. Because if I go all the way around and ask all of you, then I'm talking about a 15-minute piece here, and I really only got 6.5. I'm not going to do that. This is voiceover. You know. Is there anything that you'd like to say that I didn't ask you?
Just look at them.
Okay. Look over. Give me names. I got
Michael.
some names.
Michael?
Michael? Okay, look over at Michael. Smile. That's one. Okay, look back at the two of them. I know what you said. Okay.
Here's a story.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Michael.
What?
Your turn.
Okay.
Look straight ahead.
Very interesting.
Look to your left.
It's very good.
Okay, but think about that. You
So give up a little more.
You don't grab the bus.
Good to go. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Do you know Michael?
Good. Okay.
My turn.
This is why I'm taking all those great, long, 35-second answers.
Okay, look down at
Until
Michael.
last about it, 10 seconds.
Great.
Yeah.
Look over at,
Me.
thank you. And all the way to your left.
This is a
Not for me, for a
story.
friend.
What's the name?
Their work.
Larry?
Director, it's going to be for the day.
Uh-oh. This thing beads
Okay,
up,
look to
so.
the right.
Larry.
Down. Do the whole routine for me once more, a little longer. And down.